Okay, so I just uploaded this video onto BitChute, but for whatever reason, look at this. Now that was 12, because if you go into my channel, I guess I feel like I'm being shadow banned on BitChute too, people. Okay, I do, right? You know, the internet is controlled by, you know, certain people that are employed to do this kind of stuff in terms of controlling the traffic, redirecting the traffic. Do you see what's going on here? Okay? I mean, obviously, it's been rigged. Okay? Does it even play? Well, there it says 13. YouTube is getting really. Okay. December 1st. Thinking. All right. About what I've just discovered in terms of YouTube, quote unquote, putting their advertisements on my 2,267 videos. Are advertisements on all of them? Probably not, but I'll tell you, people, if they've got advertisements on at least half, over 1,100 videos, they're making good money off of my channel, okay? Shadow banning me for years, harassing me with copyright strikes, you know, in public events and those kind of things. Right, to the point where I just didn't want to go out and do public events anymore because it wasn't, there was no venue to promote that goodwill on the internet, because as soon as I uploaded a video, like a park event or whatever, you know, playground restoration, the Malcolm X chocolate milk party, no, they just came in and with their copy strikes and made it so fucking hard and so frustrating. And you get a copyright strike released and you think everything's good, and then another year or two goes by, next thing you know it, they mute the whole bloody video. That's bullshit. $1 billion company, people. We're dealing with $1 billion company that is exploiting a vulnerable family that have put themselves out in the community for 21 years and has gone through a lot to be, you know, part of the solution. As we're being attacked by things. And those things, they get off on hiding. You know, my grandmother used to, you know, she had a house, right? And when you'd come in at night, you'd have to walk between the house and the shed, and there was this little walkway. And so you're coming into it, right? And she'd always say, you know, watch for the boogeyman, watch for the boogeyman. I was a little girl, right? So I always run, right? Because I was scared the boogeyman was hiding in the bushes in that little space before you could carry on to the back. Little did I know that the boogeyman was more than just a boogeyman, okay? We're dealing with something that's a whole band of boogeymen, right? So anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on writing the CEO of Google. I have to. I have no choice. I'm going to tell him exactly what I think of this company and what my experiences have been with this company for all these years, and how this company has treated me with their employees and have done their psychological warfare tests on my channel because I was easy to manipulate, and my channel was easy to manipulate through their shadow banning techniques, so they could just fuck with my head, people, basically. right? Because I don't find YouTube to be very of goodwill. They've never supported the foundation other than let me upload a video onto the website, which at that time was free. Now I'm having to pay for it through their advertisements. And I'm just wondering if their advertisements, the CEOs of those companies know what YouTube slapped their advertisements on in terms of the history of the foundation, the history of the nonprofit, right? The history of my family and what we went through to even have a fucking YouTube channel so that YouTube can get even more richer. It's sick, people. That's depravity, okay? So, I don't know, I'm not going to run this short. I'm not going to run this long. I shouldn't even be doing this video. I'm trying to decide where I want to start uploading videos regularly, whether on BitChute or try and figure out how I can use Brighton.com. I'm not putting up no more food videos, none of that crap on YouTube. Nope. Nope. What I'm thinking of, people, and maybe I'll just leave it on this note, because really I don't want to play into YouTube's. You know, it's one thing being a bitch. It's one thing being treated like a bitch. Well, no, I'm being a bitch in terms of being treated like a bitch. YouTube, you know, I always say I don't want to be YouTube's bitch. Okay? But I always felt I had to keep the foundation out there. And the only way for me was to be able to keep the foundation out there was to participate in videos and draw people into real life experiences so that they could somehow connect to the idea of why we needed a foundation in the first place and why we still need it today. But at the rate I'm going, people, you know, I don't know. Let people depend on the Red Cross to help them. If you notice, the Red Cross popped up just out of nowhere all of a sudden after all these years. Because of the flooding. Other than that, when was the last time you heard about the Red Cross? I haven't heard about them for about 8 years. They're giving everybody $2,000 for the ones that got flooded out of their homes. Right. So, you know, being that I'm being treated like a bitch, I've been treated like a bitch. Now they got me on a Hoe Pole. You know, it's one thing being a bitch, right? Being treated like a bitch, right? It's another thing being put on a Hoe Pole. They got me like their little fucking hoe now, people. Right? Pimping my ass. Yeah. As they slap me around over there, they're pimping me over there, okay? As they protect a government that puts my family in direct risk of imploding. Literally imploding. So I have to put it in my head that when that time comes, right, and my world completely implodes as YouTube staff and their fucking bosses are rolling around laughing, making a profit off of it, just like when ShaMay's dead body was up on that fucking bed for 9 days after it had been pillaged. Some things were making money. So, knowing what I know, people, walking the talk, people, okay? Go ahead, YouTube staff, put your little fucking advertisement on this video. Go buy yourself some Bacardi. Hold on a minute. Anyway, I figure like this. When the time comes, I'm just not going to be afraid to face the streets, people. I'm not. I will make sure that I have a cell phone and I'll upload onto Facebook or something like that to show, to document people how our representatives actually treat the general public, basically. And then my landlady can come in here and sell everything for $2 a piece and make herself $100,000. Because if I don't stand up for my grandkids and for myself and the rest of my family, nobody else is going to do it. Okay? Right? And if I'm going to lose my grandkids, people, because of fucktards like YouTube staff that like to partner up with corrupt governments and play head games so that they can make money as they pillage what they basically rape. And it's not just rape once, okay? It's time after time after time. Uncle John, Sierra, Andre, Amari, right? ShaMay. Never mind what's been robbed from my living children's brains. Well, what you gonna do? Go willingly for that? You gonna go willingly to be the abused bitch that the way they treat you? Or are you gonna take a stand because you're gonna lose it anyway? And if I'm gonna lose my grandsons to a potential death based on the risks outweigh the benefit, or is it the benefit outweighs the risks in terms of what our governments are doing now to human beings? Killing off the hippocampus as they do it? Well, if it means I end up out on the streets, people, with the blanket over my shoulders, with the rest of those people out there, while the inside of my house is being pillaged by the so-called professionals in the community, by the so-called respectable individuals in the community, if it saves my grandkids, people, and it saves my kids, people, then I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, people. Let YouTube put a fucking advertisement on that.